You've been told to work hard, but no one told you to speak like a king. The most powerful billionaires in the world, they don't wait for success, they declare it. While others say, "I'll try," they say, "I was made for this." This is the story of a man who didn't start with wealth, connections, or power. He started with rejection. 10 jobs turned him down. Harvard laughed at his application 10 times. But none of that mattered, because one day he spoke a different sentence to himself. "I'm going to build something the world doesn't understand yet." And that belief, it became Alibaba. It became billions. It became Jack Ma. Jack grew up in Hangzhou, China, long before the skyscrapers, before the headlines, before the billions. He was quiet, introverted, not the kid anyone would pick for leadership. In school, he struggled with maths, failed his entrance exams twice. Even his teacher said, "He's just not that sharp." He wasn't a prodigy. He wasn't the chosen one. In fact, he was the one nobody believed in. And like millions of others, he tried to follow the script. Study hard, get a degree, apply for jobs. But life kept saying no. He applied to become a teacher, rejected. He walked into a KFC in his hometown. 24 people applied. 23 were hired. Only Jack was turned down. Even the police turned him down. Harvard? He applied 10 times. Rejected. Every time. It would have broken most people, but not Jack. Because somewhere inside, there was a quiet voice whispering, "This isn't it." He didn't want a job. He didn't want safety. He wanted impact. And while the world tried to shut the door, he began building a door of his own. It didn't start with a business plan. It didn't start with investors. It started with one sentence he told himself: "I will build something the world doesn't understand yet." And he stopped trying to fit into the system and started creating one. Not for approval, not for applause, but because something inside him knew playing small was no longer an option. When Jack Ma launched his first website, people laughed. "You don't know tech. You don't even code. You're an English teacher, not a businessman." But Jack didn't argue. He didn't try to prove himself to them. He just whispered, "It's already happening." He didn't say, "I'll build Alibaba when I raise funding." He said, "Alibaba is real," even when it wasn't. That's not ego. That's vision in motion. And while others were waiting for the world's permission, he was building it anyway. Here's what made the difference. And it wasn't what most people think. It wasn't Jack's IQ. He wasn't the smartest in the room. It wasn't luck either. Luck doesn't show up after 30 rejections. It was something far more powerful: alignment. His thoughts, his words, his actions all pulling in the same direction. He didn't just hope things would change. He decided they would, and then he backed it up. He thought like a disruptor, long before anyone saw a disruption coming. He spoke like a winner, even when he had nothing to show for it. He worked like someone who had already arrived, even when the world still laughed. And slowly, quietly, the world began to follow. That tiny, misunderstood startup, built from a cramped apartment in Hangzhou, with no money, no connections, no tech advantage, it became Alibaba, a company so bold, so relentless, it rewrote the rules of digital commerce across an entire continent. And Jack, he became more than a CEO. He became a symbol, a signal that you don't have to be perfect. You don't need the right background. You just need alignment between what you believe, what you say, and what you do. Because when your language leads the way, your habits and your future race to catch up. You know why most people never get out of average? Because they talk like it's a trap they can't escape. They say, "I'm stuck. I'm not lucky. I'll start next year." And guess what? Life says, yes. But Jack, he rewrote every sentence he spoke, like it was code. No self-pity, no apologies. Only sentences like, "We will win. I believe in my team. We are changing the world." That's how he moved faster than fear. There's something in the universe that listens. Not a myth, not magic, just a law. Whatever you declare with conviction, the world starts to arrange itself around it. Say, "I'm not ready," and the world gives you more reasons to wait. Say, "I'm already building," and opportunities begin to appear. Jack Ma didn't wait to be validated. He spoke his empire into motion. Then his actions followed. Then the money. Then the applause. The richest people in the world don't describe where they are. They design where they're going. Before the press, before the investors, before the success stories, Jack Ma was speaking it like it was already real. He was building a billion-dollar reality with 10 words and a keyboard. So if you're waiting for signs, stop, speak it, then build it. That's how empires begin. If this story reminded you that you're meant for more, don't wait. I've created a free blueprint to help you design your next move. Step by step, no fluff, just results. Links in the bio. Because you're not stuck, you're just one sentence away from becoming someone else.